All right. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again. Today is May the 23rd. I can't believe we're in May already of 2022. And we're going to get started with our May edition of Talk Dispatch with Tawana. I'm really excited about tonight's guest because I'm a firm believer of referring people to someone who actually does the work and does it correct. And I can actually vouch for this person. I can definitely vouch for Dr. Cass and say that she understood the assignment. She understood the assignment and she got me going. I am proud to have on my wall both my certifications. I'm not gonna tell y'all it was easy because she's gonna send y'all a whole bunch of emails and ask y'all for a whole bunch of stuff. But I will tell you it was worth it. It was worth it. So Dr. Cass's resume is really long. She is the owner of I'm so sorry. She is the owner of Gen's Preferred Solutions. And she is going to be the person who's going to get you guys situated with your all of your certifications. She's going to speak on that today. She is the author of several books. She is a resident of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And she's a wealth of knowledge. She has some events going on, and she's also going to share with you guys. But she's a wealth of knowledge, but most of all, she actually, like I said, she did an amazing job at my certifications. And I'm again proud, very proud to have them, and proud to bring her here to talk about what she does, how she does it, and how she can help you guys as well. So I'm not gonna keep talking. She's also already dropped her information in the chat, so make sure you copy. I've also dropped it in the group for you as well. But I'm gonna let Dr. Cass take over from here because she's the one with all the info. But before I let Dr. Cass take over, I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for your thoughts and your prayers. I'm so happy to be sitting in this chair versus sitting in the hospital bed. It's been a rough week, but all is well. God is good, and I am listening. I got my meds over there. I'm listening, y'all. But thank you so much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys, your calls, your emails, and your information in the group. Again, thank you. Dr. Cass, it's all yours. Hey.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cassandra. We're going to be talking about opportunities. I want to be like Tiffany. Tiffany is sitting in the bed eating. I'm jealous. I'm hungry. I was watching her like, man, did I eat today? My food didn't look as good as hers, but we're going to talk a lot about a boring topic that I know a lot of you guys probably go, oh, it's the government. But we're going to talk about being certified minority-owned and woman-owned disadvantaged business. You guys, this is just an opportunity. The government is a client. The government is a customer. And guess what? They have the ability to pay your invoice. That's what it is. So we're going to talk. So how many of you guys already know about being certified minority-owned, woman-owned, disadvantaged business? Yeah. So you guys already know that they're just a customer. And has anybody ever done any business with the government? Or just, it's not just government. Let me say this, is Fortune 500 companies that participate. Like I was just on a call with Amazon Corporate. Now they have a program for Black-owned businesses to get their wares on Amazon. So, you know, they got sued. I don't know if you guys knew that, just like Grubhub did. So now Grubhub has a program for Black-owned business. So anyway, so I'm an advocate. I'm for a small business. So I'm always looking for opportunities and what Fortune 500 companies want to do business with people that look like me and you, whether we're women or minorities, or if you're a veteran with a DD-214. So I'm just going to jump straight in because y'all not giving me no feedback. So I may start talking about cake and all kind of stuff. But, you know, I'm like a pastor. Y'all got to talk back to me. Let me know y'all still there. I know Tawana got y'all. Okay. All right. That's right. Look, share the food, girl. Share the food. So being certified has been around since the 1980s, y'all. And you guys, if you keep up with what's going on in government, I know a lot of us like to say we don't do politics, but you have to when you're in business. So when you guys, when the pandemic hit and the CARES Act came out, we were all complaining that it was the big companies, right, that got that PPP money and that EIDL. Remember, because y'all was some of the ones saying they gave all the money to the big folks, the Fortune 500. Or that was just me talking. They did, you know, Shake Shack and all of them got all the money. Well, guess what? All of those Fortune 500 companies that took that money under the CARES Act, they are mandated by law, thanks to President Joe Biden, to set aside 40% of all their business with us. So I think it's a great time to be a minority. It's a great time to be a woman. Doesn't matter what state you're in. They are mandated. I like to say they shall set aside 40% of all their business. I almost sound biblical when you say shall. They shall set aside 40%. So when you're looking to do business like with Procter & Gamble or Walmart or Wells Fargo has a lot for those in transportation. When you're looking at Keurig and Dr. Pepper and Pepsi and all of those types of companies, they must set aside 40% of all of their business to certified minority, woman-owned, and veteran-owned business. So veterans used to get 15% off the top, but now they've increased it to 40. So how do you become, what is required? Let's talk about what's required to be certified minority-owned. So first of all, you have to have a legal business. So we're all legal? Yeah, we're legal, right? And so that owner must be born a minority or woman, and it has to say so on your birth certificate. I know you guys said, where is she getting these jokes from? Yeah, it has to say it on, it'll come to you tomorrow. You like, that was a joke she told. You have to be born a minority or born a woman, and it has to say that on your birth certificate. And that minority or woman must own at least 51% of the business.
In progress.
Elsa? I think it's Elsa. So that minority or woman must own at least 51% of the business and operate the business at least 51% of the time. So even if you still work for an employer, we just have to prove that you work for yourself at least 51% of the time. Are y'all following me? Say yeah. So now, those are the three major criteria. It doesn't matter what state you're in, that is across the board. You have to own a business. It means you have to be legal. If you own it, you have to be born a minority. That's Black or African American, Hispanic, Asian, Pan-Asian, Indian, or American Indian. And you must operate the business at least 51% of the time. So, you know, men have put their wives in the forefront to say the wife owns the business. You guys know. So they want proof of evidence, right, that you are at least 51% owner. And so, of course, they want to make sure that you have paid your taxes. They're not looking to see if your tax returns are right. 3 years tax returns, right? So there are things that I'm looking for on the tax return, like your K-1s, if you file a K-1, if it says 50-50, we have to get that changed. In Georgia, you know, you have to file your renewal and all that. So we want to make sure that everything is correct. So there's about 28 documents that you would have to submit in order to, before we even start preparing your application. 28. So I know Tawana was like, is she going to ask for anything else? Yes, 28. It may be more if I open the document.
Well, just going to say, you sure it wasn't more than that?
Because one document can open the door to another document, right? So let's say that I got your resume. That's one of the documents. And on your, but I looked at your 2019 tax returns or your W-2, and I saw that you drove for Uber, right, during the pandemic. Well, it needs to be on your resume. Everything has to match. So some people go, well, I don't want people to know I drove for Uber. We already know it's on your tax return. So it has to match. Everything has to match, because what I don't like is for agencies to contact you after we submit and ask for additional documents. That's one of those scratching on the chalkboard issues for me, because I'm like, I know you got everything, so you shouldn't be asking my client for anything else, because then when they do that, they have the right not to review your file for 30 more days. So we don't want to delay. We want to get that certification ASAP, right? So that's what we do. We're very thorough. We like to answer the question before it's asked. And so we want to make sure that we're putting you in a position where you can receive opportunities. So Tawana, you should be receiving email stuff all the time about bids and opportunities, and you should come to this meeting or this agenda to build capacity meeting, and oh, come meet the vendors, come meet us. Meeting, you want to do those, because guess what, y'all? Anything under $25,000 does not have to be bidded out.
Yes.
So they're called no bid or low bid contracts. So let's get into contracts. So you want to get certified because you want to put yourself in a position where you can receive opportunities. So when a person like me who teaches business, we always have, before I can tell you how to succeed, I need to know why you fail. And one of the reasons why a woman-owned business failed is technology. But one of the reasons why a Black-owned business failed is opportunity, right? We don't have enough opportunities available. One of the reasons why a veteran-owned business fail is information. If you know any vets, they don't know about their benefits, right? It's the first thing they say. So we have to find, we are the answer to the problem. So when we look for, when we're starting a business, which, as you know, Black women are the #1 race and gender for starting business right now, even though we're 60% still behind white women as far as pay and stuff like that. We have to understand that we're looking for opportunities to grow our business. And when you're receiving email bid solicitations or email opportunities, now we can't say that we don't have opportunities. I'd rather for us to say, well, I'm not getting invited to the party, rather than saying I'm not getting opportunities. So just so you know, the government and these Fortune 500 companies, they're just clients. So if you're saying that the government, when you think of the government, we say, oh, it's just too big. I can't compartmentalize my brain to say this is local government, this is city, this is county, this is state, this is federal. So I always tell people, if I was to do a PowerPoint and show you a picture of my picture of the government, her name is GoVet. And I have to, for me, the government is a person. So when you're looking to do business, don't just think government. You got Fortune 500 companies out there. You got Super Bowl, right? In order to do business with the Super Bowl, you have to be first certified minority or woman-owned. So when Super Bowl came to Georgia, how many of you guys did business with Super Bowl? So I'm working on my 4th contract with Super Bowl, right? I'm working on my 4th contract with Super Bowl. So I'll be going to Vegas here soon, Tawana, because I'm throwing my name in again. So legal business, born, yep, you're right. Born a minority must own at least 51%. So once you get certified, now you want to put yourself in a position where you're receiving opportunities, and they're called RFPs. They're called requests for proposals. So now that Tawana's certified, she's getting all these emails. So people want her to go get on a team with me, help bid with me, right? And so now if she decides to do that, she can leverage her certification, just make a percentage, because once she's certified, most RFPs or requests for proposal read, if you and your key personnel are certified. What that means is if you and all of your subcontractors, right? So if Tawana got a contract, not only to negotiate the freight, but also find the owner operators, right? She has to do everything, right? Whether it's, and she'll find a lot of this in construction services, to move aggregate, to move dump truck, to move dirt, dirty dirt. And it may say, we want you to negotiate the freight, we want you to find the owner operators, make sure they're all subcontractors under your company, or subcontractors are team in agreement. And if all of your key personnel, so that means that Tawana's certified, right? Her owner operators are all certified, right? Whoever else, whoever she's buying the dirt from. So that means that so when you're looking at who wins bids, you're scored, right? So it tells you how you win a contract, right? You say, okay, so I'm certified, now I need to get bids. I hear you can get email of the bids, right? I put in the bid to tell you how much I'm going to charge. So it tells you in there what date the bid is due, what the bid is, what the scope of work is. It tells you all your requirements, right? It may tell you your insurance you got to have, right? It may tell you, and then it's going to tell you how you win. Most contracts, not all, but most of them could read, especially in services, and we're in considered services. It could say you and your key personnel equals 60%. That means you and your subcontractors, if you and everybody that you're pulling together to team with are certified, that's 60% of your score. You're trying to get to 100%. The other 20% could be, do you carry the insurance that we require? Do you carry 2 million in liability? I don't know. Do you carry workers' comp if you had employees that worked under you, right? And then the other 20% could just be your bid. So a lot of people that say, well, I didn't get the contract, I don't know why, it could be nepotism or whatever the reasons. I'm like, well, let's look at the scorecard. Are you certified? Or all of everybody on your team certified? And I'm gonna tell you who has this down pat, y'all, is Hispanics. They're gonna make sure that everybody on their team is certified. So if you just, like when 85 in Atlanta was under construction, I knew about that project because it belonged to one of my clients. Is a Black woman. She's based out of Dallas, Texas. She's a veteran. She won that $85 billion contract. And I know it's 85 because it was for the 85 freeway. And not only did she win, and she'll tell you, I don't come to the table unless it's over 100 million. But she'll say everybody that she pulls together for the infrastructure of building out that 85 expressway, she made sure they were all certified because she wants to make sure that she's going to win every time. But let's say that you said, well, I don't know if I want to go through all the bid and all putting together proposals and all that. You don't do that anymore. Now they're all digital, thank God. But let's say you said, I don't want to bid. Like me, I got contracts right now. I don't want to bid. I'm lazy. I just want to walk in, woo you, wow you, and you give it to me. Well, those are called low bid, no bid contracts. Anything under $25,000, I don't have to bid. I don't have to put together a proposal. Well, I do, but not in the sense of pulling together a team to fulfill. Does that make sense? I can walk into my local government office. I can walk into GDOT, or I can walk into Metro. I can walk in to Nissan and say, hey, here is my capability statement. And as you can see, these are my NAICS codes, my NAICS, Northern American Industry Classification System. You're just a number, right? So everybody on this call has more than one. I have 21. So everybody has one. So you show them your NAICS code and they'll look up what do they have available based on your codes. Anything under $25,000 I can walk out with. So I'll give you an example. I've had a contract to teach the basics of starting a business. I've had this contract since 2005. Every year I just walk in and say, hey, y'all know y'all need me. How many workshops I'm doing for y'all next year? Because I know it's under 25,000. So this is how I think. If I went to every library and taught dispatching, right? Or I taught how to start a business, and it's all under $25,000. This is how I think. I'm in North Texas. I live near Dallas. I got 26 counties in North Texas. If I went to 26 counties and asked for a $25,000 contract, that's $650,000. So I can teach the class. It takes me an hour and a half, and then I get to eat what I kill on the back end. So they pay me up front, and then I still charge if you want me to do the service. I've been doing that, and then I replicated that because I'm certified in multiple states, not just Texas. I'm certified in Georgia, Kentucky, California, Illinois. I got a bunch of them, and Louisiana, because I'm leaving Saturday to Friday for a contract there. And so I want to make sure that I'm getting access to opportunities where I can now leverage my certification. I'll tell you another way, Tawana, that I leverage. I have a client in Louisville, Kentucky. They're with the CME Church. The CME Church won a $10 million contract. Well, they were bidding on a $10 million contract because they bought this building and they wanted to create business education and programming. So they asked me if I would teach a couple of classes. Y'all, in the big scheme of things, $10 million is not what I was asking for. I was going to teach 2 little bitty classes, only twice because I don't have time. And I was going to make, let's just say $10,000. 10,000. They're making 10 million. But my team agreement says in the event that you utilize my certification, because they need a copy of it, to win this bid, and once it's awarded, you decide not to use me, you owe me the full value of the contract.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't play. So that means my prayer life changes. I'm like, please forgive me, Lord. Please let me forgive me. Because I will sue you. Because what they're doing is they're using your certification to win. And then you know how people are, well, I decided to use my play cousin, Pookie Nim. I ain't gonna use you because you know you was really too high. Whatever the reason was, you used my certification to win. So you shall use me or pay me, either one, right? So that's when team and agreements come in play. And in, I don't know how many people are in Georgia or where everybody's from, but in Georgia, you qualify for your minority and your disadvantaged business. If you're in North Carolina or Texas, we have more than those. We have what is called a historically underutilized business. If you're in dispatching, freight brokering, if you're an owner operator, you move dirt, aggregate, you need a disadvantaged business certification. Disadvantaged business certification is where you're going to probably be using team agreements more often, or you'll be pulled in as a team. So right now, people are looking for Tawana because she's attractive. We know she's pretty, but she's attractive because she has a certification. And people that are already in government contracting, they know that the more people they have on their team that are certified, the better chances they have at getting awarded a multi-million-dollar contract. So right now, what's new that just happened down the pike, Tawana, after this just happened last week, airports now are allowing they have what is called ACDBE. It's called airport concessions. It used to be only for concessions. Now it's broadened to include if you bring in fuel for airplanes. So it's not just having a storefront or a cart inside of the airport. Now it includes those trucks that bring in fuel, or even now aggregate or dirt because of construction. The downside of that is if you've been touched by the justice system or you have a record, you're not going to get a contract. So when I ask my clients and we do one-on-ones, I'll ask when they say, oh, I want an airport certification, then I have to ask that difficult question. Have you been touched by the justice system? Because even though they will approve your certification, you wouldn't get a contract. So I would tell you, I wouldn't deal with airports, especially if you have a record, right? Or if your owner operators have records. Now you got to find owner operators who don't have a record because they can't get onto the airport. It's just like they need a security clearance. So airport certifications are big right now because a lot of airports are not owned by the city. They're called city airports now, where they own their own city. Don't try and commit that to memory. It's my little government hat that I like to play. But if you say, well, no, I have opportunities for fuel and I want to be able to get my fuel onto the airport, yes, we can get you certified with an ACDBE. That's airport concession disadvantaged business. However, if you're dispatching to owner operators that have been touched by the justice system, you got certified, but you'll never be able to win a contract if that's who you're using. So this is why I always ask for people to set up consultations so I can have those type of conversations. We don't want to take your money getting you certified knowing that you couldn't do business, because your database are folks that have been touched by the justice system. Is that fair? Absolutely. Yeah. So it's great. I don't want you guys to be afraid of being certified because it is paperwork, and people that don't like paperwork it's fearful, but that's why we do it for you. We prefer, I have an online class online, but it doesn't make sense to me because I still got to talk to you too many times, because people will say, well, just tell them I don't have them documents. Tawana, I get that all the time. Especially LLCs. You like to say, well, tell them I don't have an operating agreement and I don't have any minutes. No, that's under the state business code, you have to have them. So that's a part of business documents. So it's funny that I had a conversation last week with a lady. So you keep asking me for minutes and all this stuff. Just tell them I don't have them. No, I can't do that. Or
It's
she
still
says,
her pay.
or she sent me a year-end balance sheet showing me she did $230,000 last year. Oh, I'll have to file. I didn't file taxes because I really didn't make any money. But your year-end balance sheet said you made $230,000. Oh well, we suffered a loss, but you can't. However, you still have to file taxes on the gross. So we get it all the time, but it's for me, it's like, no, sweetheart, that's a business document. You got to file taxes. I can't tell you not to file taxes, but you got to file taxes. And a lot of times when we're starting new LLCs or new businesses, the first year, you do know you get most of the money back that you used as a filing fee. You get all that back.
Right.
But when you don't file in the first year, now you got to pay a penalty.
So Dr. Cass, as far as like most of my people on here are dispatchers. As far as work for dispatchers, getting certified, is there work out there? Is there contracts for dispatchers?
It is contracts for dispatchers. I've been seeing a lot for school districts, because when they're like right now, they're building all these new schools. So if you're in the South, most of our schools are old. And so they don't have T1s underneath. They had Ethernet and not internet. So they're digging all that up. And then you'll see, or downtown. So because of the American Disability Act, every downtown is under construction, the sidewalks, because they have to put those 6 grooves in. So if they're in a wheelchair or any kind of motor scooter, they have to be able to fill those grooves before they're going out into the street, so they just don't roll out there. And so then the lights have to have the audible sounds with the countdown. I don't know if you guys have seen that. So every downtown. So when you're looking at people that move aggregate, right, you'll see a lot of work for dispatchers or school districts. Let's say they got a green tag today, right, to move forward. They want those 500 toilets now, because they got the green tag today. They want them in today. They got the plumbers out there. They don't want to wait until you say, oh, well, we can't get it out there for 2 weeks, because they can't order them now because they don't know when they're going to get the green tag from the city, right? So they're okay, well, we got green tag. We need them today. Can you get somebody to give us 500 toilets today? And so they're not going to order them from a company. They're going to want a dispatcher, somebody that they can utilize for that urgency. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I will say I got a call last week, and it was shocking. At first I thought it was spam, but I got a call last week from the city of Decatur, and it was, they have a huge project that they're doing out there, and they just need someone that is going to answer calls and track trucks from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And they saw my certification somewhere. Yeah, and they said, yeah, we see that you just got your certification. We see you based in Georgia. Is this something that you'll be interested in? And she said she got my information from some website saying that I was a certified DBE, and if I was willing to be a subcontractor. So I'm like, yeah.
Send me over the scope of work. Send me the scope of work.
Yes. So she sent me all the documents, and then she was really excited because she asked me how many dispatchers do I have, and I said I have about 12 on my team. And she's like, oh yeah, this is perfect. So she sent me all the documents. So this will literally be my first subcontract. So I'm really excited about that. But as far as like, the opportunities there are a lot. I've been to several meetings. I'm going to a Delta meeting next week. So yes, I have seen some opportunities for us to slide in and and make a difference, and
I'll tell you somebody else that wants. So I have a bunch of contracts pending, y'all. And so a lot of colleges right now are looking for training, CTE, where they can make offerings for education that maybe another college is not. So if it was me, Tawana, I would put together a proposal. There's always 3 wins in a proposal. I think you may have heard me say there's a win for me, a win for you, and a win for the people we serve. But every college is looking for something dealing with trucking and transportation. So if you can teach dispatching as a course, now I wouldn't sell them I wouldn't let another professor teach mine. I would do train the trainer, where you have to pay me to train people to train my stuff. I'm gonna get paid again. But every community college, and then you got to look for high schools now. Now they realize that these kids don't have a trade. and they're not going to college, and
Right.
everybody cannot be a YouTube influencer. So now they're trying to say, well, what can we do? Because these kids are lazy. And so I just got approached last Tuesday by our Hispanic chamber. I do a lot with the Hispanic community. And they were like, Cassandra, we want you to come in and teach all this stuff. And I said, well, I have a business education center. Those are my proposals that are pending under the American Rescue Plan. If y'all can meet my budget, I'm there. This is my budget. My budget doesn't change because nobody's doing what I'm doing. I have some proprietary software. And so, yes, so Tawana, you teach dispatching. If it was me, I would look for every high school in the state, every school district in the state, and come up with a 3-win proposal and a budget, because they are looking for you. I'm doing some stuff with Southern Louisiana University out of Shreveport, which is only 2.5 hours from Dallas. And I'll be out there on Friday and Saturday. They're like, Cassandra, we got the money. We want to fund you for 3 years. I said, well, let me go put some gas in my little truck and get on my little SUV and get on out to, and then they have a trucking expo this Saturday, so I'll just stay over to Saturday and go to that. And so, but I'm creating business education centers. But when I'm having these conversations with economic development and school districts, Tawana, you teach dispatching. If you just, and then they can't just have my course. Right. You can't allow your professors to train on my content. I would have to do a trainer, then you have to pay me for that, because then they have to go through my certification class just to see. But that's just how I roll. And then and then if I find out another professor is training on my content, then you owe me 3 times the value, because they haven't gone through the training. So I'm trying to get Tawana to retire, because people don't understand all these contracts. But all of this stuff, now, all of this that I'm talking about is under the American Rescue Plan. So if I was you, Tawana, I'm giving you this one for free. I would Google American Rescue Plan when it comes to education and small business small minority businesses and marginalized communities. Yep, Sussler. Can I come to the event at Sussler? Oh, girl, yeah, I'll be down there Saturday. I'll be there Saturday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Oh, Felicia.
Let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll be there. I just decided, so I'm gonna go down there. They got a building for me, so I'm gonna go look. They sent me pictures. Girl, look, y'all don't know I'm working this down here. So now they want me to teach about minority certification. I said, y'all don't even have a diversity study. Anyway, but y'all can pay me, I'll do it. I don't know what's gonna do, but.
So I have a question, Dr. Cass. Someone said, do you have to be certified in that state in order to qualify for contracts in another state?
So you have to always get certified in the state that you live in first, because we have to prove residency, right? And then once you get your certifications in your state, to get an out-of-state certification is 3 documents. It's your certification from your home state, your certificate of filing, and I think in your last year's tax return. It's so simple to do out-of-state certification. So you first have to get certified in the state that you live in. I'm gonna tell you this, we have to prove residency. So, you may say, I just moved to Georgia and I'm from New York and I'll never give up my New York driver's license. You have to. You have to, because we have to prove that you live in the state, and how they prove that is with your driver's license. It doesn't make sense to me, because you can always say, go get a Georgia ID, but that's what they want, right? So is there any way to get started doing back office support for the transportation industry? There's a contract off of everything. The government buys everything. There's nothing that I need to stop saying it, because I found somebody that was selling something that the government ain't buying. That's a rated R conversation. I'm like, the government is not buying
one the other day for styrofoam cups.
Yes, girl, I thought toe separated.
It was some styrofoam cups for the city of Fulton, and they needed 5,000 cups a month. I'm like, for one, what they doing with 5,000 cups? 2, I don't care. How do I put it?
Not being set up a subsidiary. So true story, y'all. I was looking at some contracts for a client, and I came across a SOC contract. Y'all know prisons are big business in Texas. We got public, private, 3P partnership prisons. Michael Jordan owned part of a prison. So,
Wow, I didn't know that.
so yeah, girl. Anyway, just like if the kids don't go to school, the school don't get paid. If them jail cells ain't filled up, somebody, anyway.
Oh,
So
wow.
there was a contract for socks, the sock contract, just some white tube socks. I didn't went online. I didn't set up a subsidiary under my corporate structure. I didn't I didn't want to apply for a wholesaler's license. I didn't found a wholesaler to sell me the socks. I don't have to pay them back for 90 days, which
90 days.
net 30 means you don't get paid from the government. 30 days means you don't get paid for 90.
Right.
So I'm like, oh my God, I ain't got to pay them until I get paid. So if push comes to shove and I don't get paid for net 30, which is 90 days, I'm not in the red. I'm be made whole. I'm going to make I was getting ready to make about $80,000. And I heard this little boy say, you didn't put 2 hours into all of this. Nobody told you to start no sock business. I can't spell sock. So will you be offering any upcoming certification classes? So I will, but the one I'm doing is the next one I'm doing is at my conference. And
that's in July. Tell us about this conference, this huge conference.
So that's the next one. I'm teaching a sales class. I have a contract with my local library to teach how to sell the sale, because most Black people don't know how to sell. And my mentor's done. So that's the only one. But certifications, I'll be teaching at the Run Entrepreneurial Conference and Trucking Expo. It's happening in Dallas, Texas, July 15th and 16th. So if you driving distance to Shreveport, girl, you better come on over here to Dallas, and we're gonna have a good time. So it's our 10th year.
Yes.
It's
I hate I'm gonna miss it, but I'm gonna be in the Bahamas that week.
Well, I ain't mad at it. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to fire myself and go right now. I'm tired. I'm like, I got my new hair in. I look like I need to be on the beach, and it ain't working. But I can't. I got 9 contracts pending, Tawana, and I'm like, if they all hit, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But then Shreveport is like, we got money. I'm like, and I got a purse to put it in. I could, I have my bank account is ready to receive.
I know that's right.
Doors of the church is open. Look, let the church say amen. So
let the church say amen. We gonna all touch and agree that you're gonna get all 9, Dr.
Not at the same time. Not saying so. I've been, y'all. Tawana knows. I fight. I'm a lobbyist for small minority businesses here in Texas, and I get to be a lobbyist and act and be a delegate. And so I just been in this big fight with one of my local cities here in South Dallas, and I said some stuff, y'all may see me on the news, but don't say nothing. But just don't act like you don't even know me. But I'm fighting for Black and brown businesses, and I'm working with Chase Bank, which is doing this big initiative for the Black and brown community. And so I said, Lord, I'm gonna lose my contract with Chase. They're not gonna let me on the stage anymore. I'm out here fighting. I hope nobody was filming this. And so they said, well, Cassandra, we hear you. I'm like, y'all trying to put Black and brown people in cages? And they were like, Jesus. Sorry.
We always need a good spokesperson, so we definitely appreciate you.
Can you repeat the name of the conference? It's called the Run Entrepreneurial Conference. It's if you go to runconference.org, RUN and conference, that's what it is. It's about entrepreneurship, and it's about how do we grow our business by land, air, and sea, right? How are we doing business bigger than what we are? So it's more of a teaching conference. We will be building relationships. If you've never heard me or seen me do a think tank, we'll be doing think tanks. Yep, that's it. Thank you so much for putting it in the chat. That's it. I'm excited. It's our 10th year, and we're already planning next year. I got some celebrities. I got MC Light talking about, Cassandra, I want to hook up with you. I was like, girl, we almost
you put me down for next year. I'm definitely gonna put it on my calendar.
All right, I'm put you down for next year. When sponsors say they want to give you money for the next year, you start planning now. You're like, right. What? Y'all want to give me a check today for something I ain't gonna do tomorrow? I'm ready. So anybody have any questions? I know that I was probably talking fast, but it's just so many opportunities out here, y'all. Pepsi has some really good contract. Coca-Cola is mandated to doing business with Black-owned women, and 7-Eleven. They are, 7-Eleven has their own brand. They've been my sponsors for years. 7-Eleven only look for Black Black women. I don't know what's going on. I think somebody in the higher ups liking Black women. It got bought out by a Japanese company, so I don't know. They're right across the street from my office on the other side of the freeway. It's funny, but I'm like, what's going on with y'all and Black women? And so they have their own brand. It's called 7 Select. So if you're not dispatching for 7-Eleven, they use mostly owner operators. Wow. So yeah, they have their own brand. And I'll tell you another company is Takis, or however you say them, little purple chips in purple bags or whatever they.
Oh, Takis, those little nasty little things.
Yeah, I don't have kids, y'all, so I don't know. My baby's 28. So they look for minorities and women to transport in their warehouses. Their manufacturing plant is based out of Dallas. So they're always, and then there's a bunch of right now folks that's mass producing salt. Normally that's dump truck or end dump, but there is a lot. It's almost like working in the oil field. These salt fields are crazy. I'm learning a lot about this. If your business is set up as clerical services, and if you see a contract for something else that you, so when you're coming to me for certification, so I'm going to ask you, tell me what you do and what you plan to do, even if you're not doing it now, what you plan to do in the next 3 to 5 years. And if you say, well, I'm a dispatcher, but I also do clerical, because you do, right? So I'm going to put administrative services or consulting. I'm going to put consulting anyway. You ain't even got to ask me, I'm going to do it anyway. And so you say, well, then I'm also going to put travel agent, because don't you help them find a place to sleep? So I'm going to put travel agency. So you'll see a lot may come through once I do that for travel or booking or event planning. It has the same NAICS code as event planning. I'm not an event planner. Look, I would leverage my certification and get me an event planner and say, look, girl, I found this contract. Now let's sign the contract, me and you, but I need 15%. I ain't going to do nothing, but I'm carrying the risk. My company is already certified. It says that the only people that can apply or bid are certified MWBEs. I already got it, and you can. Hey, I did a lot of that in construction with dump truck during the pandemic, because when I hear construction folks are not working, especially right now, I already know you have bad credit. You can't get bonding. Bonding is based on credit. Well, if we're going to go through my company, I take the risk. You got to pay me 25%. On the first draw. So I made them all sign a contract, but my background is law, y'all. I'm just gonna let you know. So I'm like, I don't want to go to arbitration. This is basic contract law. Do you own anything that I can put a lien on in case you don't pay me? That's just me. So yeah, you'll never sell that house unless you pay me first. Oof. You'll never sell your truck unless you pay me.
I owe Dr. Cass no money.
But no, this is business. This is not friendship. It's business, because if I'm leveraging and using my company, you have to also name me as an insured on your policy, because if you mess up and they come looking for me, I'm going to file a claim like you rented me. No, this is business. I got to protect my business, my brand, everything. I have employees. I don't know. So this is business. So if you decide to team with somebody, make sure you have an airtight teaming agreement. Ask some hard questions. Dude, bro, do you own something? Let me go to Fulton County and look up that house. You and your wife, put a lien on all of that. Yeah. Wow. Because I need to make sure I get paid. Thank you. Okay.
That's what's up. Does anybody else have any other questions for Dr. Cass? We have dropped all of her information in the group in reference to her, in the chat, in reference to her event and in reference to how to reach out to her. Reach out to her if y'all are serious. Don't just reach out to her for no reason now. Be serious about getting yourself in order. She would definitely help you guys get everything in order. She is the truth. Again, like I said, I have mine up here, and it is a tedious process, but I promise you, if you get her everything that you need. When I did my call with GDOT, it was simple. He was like, "Oh, I don't need anything." He's like, He's like, I don't need anything. You know, he asked me for one thing, you know, and then when I sent it to her, she was like, why is he asking you for that? No, give me his number. She's like, he should not be asking you for that. And then the next thing you know, he didn't need it no more. So so she literally, like I said, she followed through, and everything that they needed, they had. So my interview was really, really easy. I've heard some horror stories about some of the interviews, but mine was really, really easy. Within 30 days after my interview with Georgia Department of Transportation, I had my certifications. So I was really excited about that. So, Dr. Cass, once again, I appreciate you. I know you are a busy woman. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for coming on here to talk to these women. And hopefully we can get them all set up and I can have a whole bunch of subcontractors to help me out.
Yes. Thank you guys for having me. It's always fun. Just let somebody listen to my little corny jokes.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Dr. Cass. All right, everybody. We got a few more minutes. I hope everybody's had a great, great week. It's been some rough dispatching weeks going on. The fuel is high. The fuel is high. There's been a lot. When I say a lot of drivers, I promise you, I have about 9 audit reviews sitting in my emails right now. So last week's DOT little sting that they did not go well for everybody. So I hope y'all carriers are doing good. But as always, we take the last few minutes to answer any questions that anybody has. So don't be shy. Raise your hand. Come off mute. Any questions, any way I can help, need anything from me, now is your opportunity, because once I take this medication, I'm gonna be asleep.
Congratulations, Tawana, on your contract.
I ain't got it yet, but I submitted all my information. Well, I got it. I'm gonna get it. I submitted all my information. And I look forward to it. I can't wait because I'm gonna be calling Valencia because she's gonna be the one doing it.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I said, it was I thought it was a spam call, and she was like, "I'm calling from the city of the." I'm like, "Yeah, right." You get all these different, spam calls all the time. But once she sent the information, she proved who she was. I was like, "Oh, it's for real." So I'm cool with just being a subcontractor because I don't have to do as much. So I think I'll be looking for a lot more of those opportunities versus, like she said, like Dr. Cass said about the bidding process, that's a lot. I've seen some of them and then I was like, yeah, but maybe not today. Just like, it's a lot, but the subcontracting part seems a little bit more cut dry. So I'm definitely going to be looking for some more of those opportunities. Miss Melissa, you got a question for me?
Good, everyone.
Hey.
I just wanted to clarify. I think in the beginning, I heard Dr. Cass say that you needed 3 years of tax returns.
2.
2 years?
Yeah, you can email her to clarify, but I only had to submit 2. I think your business has to be in business for 2 years, so you have to submit at least 2 years of tax returns.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to clarify that.
No problem.
Thank you.
And I hate mispronouncing people's names, so see, she knew it was her. That's why she took herself off mute. So go on and pronounce your name.
Oh, it's Yelisa.
Yelisa. I was not gonna say that. I'm gonna tell you right now. It was.
That's all right, baby. Ain't but 3 of us in the world. It's all right.
How you doing? How can I help you today?
So my question is, I found you a couple of weeks ago, and I came in on the call. I think her name was Lakeisha. I don't know where to start. I don't know if I need to take your dispatch class. I don't know if I need to take your compliance class. I'm not sure how to get in the industry. I already left corporate America. I never worry about that. I'll gig till I leave this planet before I go back to work for them. But I love foundational stuff and like helping people get set. That's kind of where my passion lies. So I wanted to ask you, I do want to do the dispatching because I know you need that to understand the whole gamut, but do I start there? Do I start with compliance? I don't know.
Okay, so contrary to what everybody wants me to do, I do not teach a compliance class.
Okay.
I probably need to at this point, but I always tell people, if you have never ever been in transportation, to start with a dispatching course.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be mine, but start with someone's. Do your research on that person's class. Make sure that they're going to teach you what you need to be taught, check reviews and all that type of stuff as well. Dispatching is going to kind of give you like that fundamental. It's going to teach you about lanes. It's going to teach you the terminology. It's going to teach you the different things that you need to know within the transportation industry, so you can take that to the next level where you want to go, whether it's being a broker, being an agent, doing compliance. It doesn't have to stop with dispatching. Now, I encourage all dispatchers to be finding a way to pivot. We've started doing drayage from the past month or so, and that's going really, really well. It's one of those things where you don't have to stay there. If you're like me, dispatch, freight agents, compliance, I own my own consortium. So there's so many different ways to get in the transportation industry without having an asset. Assets are great. I wish I could sell every last one of mine. Hope my boyfriend is listening on this call. Wish we could sell every last one of our assets, because they get on my assets. But without having an asset, there's so many different ways to be successful in this industry. So for me, I would definitely encourage starting with dispatching.
And how long are your courses? How long does it take to go through your training course, whether it be the online one or I know you just started your in-person one. I missed that one, but.
Yeah, so my last in-person one was a couple of weeks ago. I probably won't be doing another in-person till like the end of September-ish.
Okay.
I have a lot of traveling going on. But my self-paced course is self-paced. So it's definitely up to you. You get in there, you go through the modules, go through the chapters, go through your guide. If you feel like you need to go through the guide, the module again, you have that opportunity. That it's there for you to continue watching the videos until you get that point to move on to the next level. So it's not like, okay, I need to rush and do this. I only got 2 weeks in this, because you get 6 months access.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any other questions? Anything else? Anything? How y'all doing? Anybody got some success stories, some wins? Anybody? Yes.
I'm sorry, this is Tiffany.
Hey, boo.
Hey, did she say the government, like when you bid for your contracts, they're net 30? Are they all net 30, or is just specific? It depends on the contracts.
I think it depends on the contract. I've seen some that's net 90. So I definitely think it depends on the contract. So that you have to determine how you're doing. The beauty of it is, if it's a service based, then it's like, okay, I've provided this service to the government. I just have to wait 90 days for them to cut me a check. If it's a product based, you just have to be sure that the people that you're reaching out to, what I have seen is you would get a letter from the government saying you've been awarded this contract to buy 10,000 cups. So then you go to Dixie Cups and you say, look, I need y'all to loan me 10,000 cups. Here go a letter from the government stating that I've been awarded this contract. I just need to get them the product, let them know that I got them the product, and then y'all know that y'all money is coming. So from my understanding, those letters work. Those letters you can take to Amazon, or you can take to a company where you're going to purchase the product from and say to them, this is my proof that I won this contract. I just don't have the funding to put up to pay it in advance. So it just all depends whether it's a product based and whether it's a service based. But I have seen 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So I guess it just all depends on what it is that, they're doing. Some of them is like, depending on, they have like certain, how do you say it? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Certain stages. So like once you get to stage 1, we'll pay you for that. Then so on and so forth. So it just all depends on the contract. When you're reading them, it tells you in the contract description what the payment process is.
Hey, Tawana, can I help her out on that? I was one of the original people with Fulton County Minority and Women Business Enterprises back in the 90s. I would just tell her that the same thing stands. Make sure everything is in order, because I promise you, when it comes across the desk, if you're missing one thing, you're going into next month. And you're gonna, if you miss one line, don't answer a question, don't check a box, they don't have time. It just goes to the next. So you missed out. So you just really have to be very, we used to love those. Okay, no, they screwed up. We're going to push it out to the next month. So just be careful about, and it is, each contract is different as to what the pay is. So you got to read those fine lines.
Gotcha.
That I know
So
for
much.
sure.
That's what's up. Any other questions, ladies?
Are you feeling better?
I am. I told everybody at the beginning, I am listening. I am listening to my doctor. Y'all know how we are. Don't just be blaming me. Y'all know how we women are. I would go and go and go and go. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, I don't think I feel good. So, but yeah, it's a lot. You know, I was diagnosed with lupus in 2004. And you know, it was one of those things. I made the decision, me and the Lord, that I didn't want to take all them pills. They gave me 8 prescriptions. 8. I ain't never took that many drugs in my life. And I made the decision then, after a few months of being on. Actually, I think I did about a year on it. And I promise you, being on all them drugs make you sicker. So I decided I was gonna go the herbal route. Y'all can take that however you want. And I was gonna work out and I was gonna try to eat good. I said try. And I was doing that pretty good, you know, as long as I take care of myself and do what I'm supposed to be doing. But you know, these past couple of months, I just been on go, like literally on go. So but I am good. I'm out. I'm free from bondage because they had me in the hospital. So let me tell you, I got bruises all on my arm because I have really, really small veins, and they stuck me so many times trying to find until they finally decided that they saw a vein in my foot and went into my foot. But yeah, on another note, again, I thank you guys for all the calls, the texts, the messages. I am good.
That's good. That's good.
Great.
I wanted to say something about the DBE certification for North Carolina, because I'm actually doing it myself in the process. So the tax returns here, they're really requiring 3 for personal and 5 for your business. And you don't have to be in business for 2 years in the state of North Carolina. And like your financials, because mine had came back because she wanted me to break down a little bit more, but I worked through Mecklenburg County diversity and some economic development stuff. So I just go through them, and then you register with the state, and they give you the password. You go in there, and then you fill it and get everything certified. So that's how I know what their tax is. So you kind of have to upload all of those. So that's what they're looking.
You said North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay.
So so even if you've not been in business for 5 years, then you need to do a little document that says that, like a Word document, and just tell them that those are not applicable to you. They want you to put it. You can't leave anything blank. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure every state is going to have their own guidelines. You just have to check your state and make sure that you're supplying what you need for that particular state.
Correct.
Yeah. Absolutely. But definitely worth it, ladies. Definitely worth it. Like I said, they opened up my eyes to the subcontracting part. So that might be my way to go, because I don't like paperwork. It's just too much for me. But any other questions from me tonight?
There's reciprocity here, because I didn't know. So anybody in North Carolina, don't do I think it's the 8A before you do the DBE. If you do the DBE first, then you automatically, once they give you that, they give you the other designation.
Yeah, that's how they did it here in Georgia too.
Okay, yeah. So just so you know.
So it's like you file for the one, and then you automatically qualify for the other ones.
Yeah, 3, yeah. So okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I went to, I didn't even know I had the other one. And when I got invited to the minority Delta meeting, she was like, oh, I see you have your MBE. And I'm like, no, I don't. She was like, yeah, I just pulled it up on the website. I'm like, oh, can you see that?
Yeah, this lady told me, she said, Jackie, don't do anything, do this one first, because then you get that reciprocity, you're just grandfathered. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't know.
So, right. Yeah, definitely do that one first.
Yeah.
That's the DBE, Tawana?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Do your DBE first. Once you do your DBE, from my understanding, it's the hardest one. So once you do your DBE, it qualifies you for the other.
Good to know.
Anything else? Well, all right, ladies, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. The Miami Heat is about to play and we is up on Boston. So if any of y'all in here from Boston, we about to beat again. So go Heat. And but yeah, I appreciate you guys as always. Next month is I've been doing this for a year, I didn't even know, but yet next month will be a year that we've been doing these dispatch talks. I'm really, really excited that you guys are getting something from it and it's been helpful. So that means I guess I keep going. But I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. As always, y'all know how to find me. If there's anything I can do to help you, reach out. But with that being said, you guys have a beautiful Monday evening, and I'll see you guys next month.
You too, Tawana. Take care, sweetie.
All right, you guys, take care. Thank you guys.